Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the book review. Today we are going to do a book review of a very different kind of book. When I'm saying very different kind of book, the intention is not to, create a buzz or attract more audience, or just to create a interesting conversation. The intention is to clearly mention the facts as it is. The name of the book is The Castle by Franz Kafka. This is the book here. 354 pages. Let me give you some perspective of the speed of the book. I started reading this book on 10th April 2026 and completed this book on 22nd May 2026. That is 1 month and 12 days. Normally, I would have completed a book even faster. But this book is a lot different from all the other books which I have read. I was the first time when I read Franz Kafka was in form of a quote. If you go to internet and you Google Franz Kafka quotes, you will end up reading non-stop for at least 30 to 40 minutes. That is the depth of his quotes. It is so beautiful. He writes the quotes so beautifully. The quotes are so engrossing, philosophically brilliant, logical, practical, and involving. This particular book is a lot different from what the quote is. Maybe I am making a haste in concluding it so early. The Castle has a different aura. This is not your normal book. If you want to read a normal book, then when you decide to read this book, you have to be cautious, because this book is a kind of a circular event at many places. This is a story of a person called K. The name itself is so strange. K. K is someone who is a land surveyor, and he goes to a village, and there is a castle in the village. Castle is the place where all important, it's kind of a government thing. And land surveyor has to give his credentials there, and he has to meet someone from the castle. The book starts from page number 1 and goes to 354. And when I reach 354, I am surprised, I am shocked that the book does not reach its destination. The book is incomplete. To be very honest, the book is incomplete. This is the first incomplete book I have read. And now, what about the writing style? Writing style is completely different from any other writers. Franz Kafka has his own writing style. At many places, you will feel that it's irritating to the core. You will not like to continue reading this book. But if you want to see a different kind of writer, a writer who has written so many beautiful quotes, this book, if you look at the philosophical part of it, as per his friend Max Brod, he is the person who has published all his books. Most of Franz Kafka's books are published after his death. And Franz Kafka did not want to, get his book published. He used to write and keep it. This is what I have found out in the research. You people can add if this is incorrect or this is correct. I will be glad. Max Brod gives a different perspective to this particular book, The Castle. He tells that Franz Kafka is a Jew, and there is a longing for a homeland. And Franz Kafka's book transforms this particular book with the abrupt ending. It says that the longing is continued and it is not finished. So, as per Max Brod, somewhere in internet I read it, this is what his take on this. I don't know whether this is right or wrong. I found that this is quite different from the explanation for giving to the abrupt ending of the story. How is the story? The story has its ups and downs, he meets two people who address themselves as his assistants, and they don't know anything about land surveying. Then he meets a lady called Frida. He falls in love with Frida. Frida is connected with some influential person called Clam. Clam is part of the castle, and there is one more important, powerful person. The story takes you into a different zone where you feel that people in that space, in that story, in that region of Europe, where like different classes were there, like people who are at the bottom of the societal structure, somewhere in middle, and at the top. The people in the castle were at the top, and people at the bottom will always aspire to not even to reach them, but even if by mistake, even if people from castle even looked at them or even gave them any kind of orders, they will be obliged to fulfill it. And if they even there is a situation where one of the person in the castle, associated with the castle, asks and makes a very dirty demand, and there is a debate on whether the demand should have been fulfilled or not. The girl to whom the demand is made does not fulfill the demand, but the people associated with her think that this is an opportunity to get into the good books of the castle. So it's like what do you say here? Bade Saab aa gaye, Bade Saab aa gaye. That kind of thing. The big boss has come, the big people have come, so we have to oblige them. Castle goes round and round, where it is a example of how bureaucracy can stall many things. This person wants to meet someone from the castle, but he is not able to meet them because he has got a different line of hierarchy to complete to reach there. Different hierarchies, different levels of people, different levels who demand different kind of treatment. How he has to cross over all those layers and then reach the castle. Ultimately, he never reaches the castle. There are many characters in this book. Book takes you around a cold, mountainous, snowy region where people are in different sections, and some people are at the top, some people at the bottom, and people at the bottom aspire to reach the top. People meet the people at the top, and they are ready to go to any extent to fulfill that desire of the people at the top, and makes for very difficult reading, I must admit. It is only the love of his codes that you end up reading. It is only the love of his code that you end up reading his book. Franz Kafka. It will be very unethical for me to say, oh, wow, what a great book it was. I did not like the book. For me, the only justification would be that I should read 2 more books to understand Franz Kafka more. Without that, I cannot say whether he is a good writer or a very engrossing writer or whatever it is. I'm very sorry if some people might get offended, because he is supposed to be one of the greatest writers. Maybe I don't have maybe I lack the caliber to understand this kind of writing. With this, we come to the end of this review. If you want to read this book, it will require a lot of patience, and only then you can read this book. Again, we come to the end of this review. See you again. Bye bye and take care.